Get right to questions here. First one today will be from Eric Bailey of the Tulsa World, and then we'll go to Ryan Aber. Eric?
Perrion, thanks for your time today. Wanted to ask you, how much did you explore the possibility of going pro after the Cotton Bowl, and what weighed your decision to coming back?
Honestly, I didn't explore the option much. I felt like I wanted to stay another year and perfect my craft even more. And I just feel like we have a good shot this year at getting that end goal, which is the national championship. I like our team overall, and I just feel like we stacked at every position. And if it was any time to go get that, I feel like this is the year. So that's why I stayed.
Thanks a bunch, Perrion.
Sure.
Okay, Ryan Aber of the Oklahoman, and then Jason Kersey.
Yeah, Perrion, when Alex talked about you late in the year, he talked about making that step from being disruptive and being really close to finishing plays and actually finishing them. Has that been a focus for you over the off season? And what is it that you feel like you need to do to take that step to turn the disruption into production numbers?
That's definitely been a big focus of mine. I feel like the things that I need to work on was like my weight and my flexibility and stuff. I feel like I would get to the play, but because I was heavy or I wasn't flexible enough, I couldn't bend or do what I needed to do to finish the play. So that's definitely what I've been working on in practice, trying to finish plays and finish through instead of just running through and running away from it.
Appreciate it, Perrion.
Sure.
Okay, Jason Kersey, The Athletic, and then Chandler Engelbrecht.
Hey, Perrion. Can you talk about last season? You come in as a JUCO guy without the luxury of a spring or fall camp or summer, much fall camp, summer workouts. All that stuff was different, and yet you were still able to start and have a really good season. What was that like for you? How difficult was that as a new guy?
Honestly, my coaches put me in a great position, so it wasn't that difficult. I feel like that they put me in every position that helped me achieve the goals that I wanted to achieve. They helped me. I got extra time with them, so it wasn't that difficult. I'd say the most difficult thing was learning the plays, but once I got that, everything became easy.
Thank you.
For sure.
We'll go to Chandler Engelbrecht with OU Daily, and then John Hoover.
Hey, Perrion, I'm curious. Last season, whether it be a coach or a player, who would you say you learned from most during your first real season at OU?
Honestly, got to give it to my position coach, Coach Tibb. No matter if I'm doing something good or doing something bad, he's on me the same way. He's not a fan like everybody else. When I do something good, he's telling me what I did bad and that to make myself better. Honestly, he's one of the greatest coaches I've ever had, and nobody pushes me like him, so he makes me want to go harder and harder every day to fix and perfect my craft.
Thanks, man.
No problem.
John Hoover with SI Sooners, and then Kerry Murdoch.
Hey, Perrion, appreciate you doing this.
No problem. How you doing?
I'm doing well. So
Good.
I'm curious about you made so many plays, so many impactful plays last year in the backfield, chasing guys, knocking guys down the strip, I think, was against Texas. We'll look back on that season for me, last season, your first season, Division I. What were some of your favorite moments going back?
Some of my favorite moments. Out of all the moments, I say one of my favorite moments was the block kick against Texas. That was one of my favorite moments. I just feel like the odds was against us. Everybody in the football world wanted to see us lose. You feel me? And I just feel like that was a great play to push our momentum back in the right direction, and that helped us win that game. So that was one of my favorite plays of the season.
And how did you end up making that play? What went into that? Did you read it? Did you just beat your guy?
Honestly, I wasn't even supposed to be over there, but I had seen that 75 was breathing heavy and that he was tired because they had just finished a long drive. So I asked one of my homies, Isaiah Thomas, actually, I told him to switch spots with me, and I just bull rushed and put my hands up and made a play.
Awesome. Thank you.
Sure.
Kerry Murdoch with Sooner Scoop, and then James Hale.
Hey, Perry, and I'm sure, when you're in JUCO, you knew you were going to go to a big time program, have a shot at playing in the NFL. I'm curious kind of though, what the reality of that's been like for you now that you spent a year at Oklahoma playing, big time football, and how has that changed you and kind of your mindset or your mentality as a football player and as a person?
Honestly, my mindset has changed dramatically. I see that it's so close, I don't want to mess up. So everything that I do, I come hard at. I go as hard as I can possible because I know that it could get taken away from me one day and I won't have this opportunity again. So I say that my mindset really changed because I'm trying to feed my family. I understand that if I don't do the things that I need to do, somebody else going to take my spot, and I can't allow that to happen.
Appreciate that, Perrion.
Sure.
James Hale, KREF, and then Josh Calloway.
Perrion, nice to talk to you, man.
Nice to talk to you too.
Curious, what shocked you about D1 football this first year? And, you know, they always say a player will improve a lot from his first year to his second year. So do you believe that? You feel like you'll be a lot better player next year? Because you were really good your first year.
Appreciate you. I feel like I could definitely improve on a lot of things. One of the things that surprised me about D1 football was the way Grinch make us run to the ball, but I love it. I would definitely feel that you can elevate your game from your first season to your second season because you see the mistakes that you made and you're able to focus on those mistakes and make those mistakes one of your strong suits instead of weaknesses. And I feel like that if I continue to work on that, I'm going to elevate my game.
Thanks, man. Have a great
No
spring.
problem. You too.
Go to Josh Calloway with Sooners Wire, and then Lee Benson.
Yeah, Perry, I just wanted to ask about Jalen Redmond. I guess getting him back and what a big addition, what a big boost he can be, what you've seen from him so far in the spring, and just how good he can be for you guys.
Man, I love having Jalen back. He was here the year before I came. So just having him here, having his, you feel me, having his, having his presence on the field makes everything much easier because he was here when things were a little bit harder. So he knows what's needed to be great. He knows what's needed to go to the playoffs. He's been in those big games. He's made those big plays. So just having him around, having him able to help all of us and telling us the things that we need to do and the things that we shouldn't do, it just makes all of us even better. And all of our chemistry right now as a D-line is amazing. So I feel like nobody can come against us.
Okay, two more, Perrion. We've got Lee Benson with KWTV, and then we'll go to Ryan Chapman.
Hey, Perry, I know you mentioned weight and flexibility are things you're kind of looking to work on. Just curious if there's anything else when you kind of watch back tape of yourself from last season, anything else you pick apart and think, I got to get better at that moving forward as this 2021 season gets here?
For sure. Definitely my hands and my conditioning. I feel like my conditioning is amazing. And when I'm not tired, then I won't miss those plays. Some of those plays were missed because honestly, I was just tired and I couldn't get to the ball. But since I've been focusing on my condition, I feel like all those plays will be made because I'll be in the right position at all times because I won't be tired.
Okay, Perrion, last question is from Ryan Chapman with SI Sooners.
Hey, Perrion, and now that you've got a year under your belt, I was curious if this spring, do you find yourself maybe taking more of a vocal role, trying to help along some of those younger guys? I know you talked about having Jalen's presence there. Do you see yourself as being one of those guys for the younger guys that came in?
I honestly feel like I became to be a vocal leader last year, but definitely this year I'm starting to use my voice a lot more. I feel like that people migrate towards me and they look up to me, so I feel like my voice carries and that I can motivate people to get the most out of them so they push themselves to be great. So yes, I honestly believe that I've become a more vocal leader on the field.